thrilled that I would call him, honor him. And, you know, it's from men like that that served our country, that allows us to have the freedoms that we have. You know, they didn't have internet, they didn't have text messaging, they didn't have Facebook. They were sent out as young men to go across the country to fight for our country, not knowing whether they will come back alive or dead. Their parents wouldn't know for months on end. He served our country and served it in a time that this generation, even my generation, has no idea. And so he was a good man. And what a day it will be when we get to see him again.
Mayor, I'd like to just comment, when we come to council meeting, a lot of times, you know, when people come, they come with complaints, and tensions gets a little tension, and then when the meeting's over, you give us an opportunity to comment, and Harold would always say what a great bunch of people he works with, how much he loved his city. We got a great little town. And I'm going to remember Harold for that. He always ended on a positive. I don't know if anybody loved this town more than Harold did.
I'll share a few of my thoughts of Harold. We were all blessed to know him, and I know it's just my feeling. You feel the same way, but I feel I was more blessed than you because he was my neighbor, and but that's not fair, and you all are just as blessed. But he and I were neighbors for almost 11 years, and the very day I moved in, I went over to see him, and he welcomed me to 21st Street, and he always had names for people. My wife, her name is Julie, but for 11 years it was Julia. But he was always checking on us, and we'd go out of town. I'd let him know. But when it comes to city business as well, he loved the city, and he and I worked very well together. We had different strengths and weaknesses, but there were things he would deal with that I just didn't have patience with, and there were things I would deal with he didn't have patience with from our ward, and so we worked together well. And he was fiercely loyal to his friends. He and I at times would disagree. Sometimes, usually we agreed on the outcome, but we disagreed with parliamentary procedure at times, and it didn't matter. He would always be my friend, and I was blessed. Pastor Ray and myself were both able to, as he was in hospice, to visit with him one last time. And I know myself, Thursday morning, I went over early. I think you were there Wednesday night, and just before the night before, as he got settled in hospice, and with the situation there, he was already unresponsive, but the hearing is the last thing that leaves in that situation. So I was there with his son-in-law and his friend Gil Harper, and I was asked to pray, and I've known Harold for years, and so I got down beside him and I said, "Now, Harold, before I pray now," I said, "I want to tell you something. It's time for you to go on to be with Jesus. It's time to go see Jackie now, okay?" And we had prayer together, and it was just wonderful that I knew Harold well enough to know that I was confident in what I said to him. And then yesterday, our church, and Greg's not with us today, but Greg in our church, we had prayer about 10 after 11 yesterday, very specifically for the Lord to help him to go peacefully, because we knew that's where he was at. And I got a text when I got done with preaching. I got text, phone call just 30 minutes after that. He went on. And so we're all blessed. I'm a little jealous. Think I was more blessed than you, but that's just my opinion. But Harold was my buddy. Even though we didn't always agree on things, he was my dear friend.
Harold was a dear friend of mine. We fought a lot of battles together during our campaign. He was always a person that never really found much fault in anyone. Everybody had something good about him. And I know that we're going to miss him here at the council, and we're going to miss him here in the city, and I'm going to truly miss him as a friend. And I really believe with all of my heart that Dunbar is a better place to live because of Harold. He really loved Dunbar, and he put forth a lot of effort to try to make it better all the while. And even projects that he wanted, people, some didn't agree with him. He never really found fault with those who disagreed with him. He always tried to communicate with them and try to work it out to work and be a solvable point. I hope that all of us will be able maybe to attend his services, because I know that he wants to be there.
I kind of thought of Harold as a football coach. Always trying to push you to do something that you didn't want to do, but you had to do it. And he would stay with you, work you over. And when it was all said and done, he'd come up and say, as Everett said, "Good job, we got it done." So, and the last year has been pretty exciting. He'd come in at least 3 times a week. We'd sit down and talk for 40, 45 minutes. And as has been expressed, they were always pleasant, positive conversations about the city, about how it was changing, how it was improving, how things were getting better. And if we all work together, that we can accomplish that goal, that we can make this a much nicer community. Even though it is a nice community, it can be nicer if we all work together. And I think that's what Harold was. He was kind of that person that kind of brought people together, and, as a coach does, and kind of makes you work as a team to get things done.
He will be sadly missed by everybody.
Sure.
If you knew him, you couldn't hate him or anything. You just had to love him, because he just had a kind and loving heart. He was a fabulous man, wonderful Christian man. That makes a big difference. You can be a great person, but if you don't know the Lord, you're not the greatest person. But Harold knew the Lord, and he was just a wonderful Christian man to be admired.
I guess his only shortfall was that he would never accept WVU as a football team. That's probably his only shortfall. There was no blue and gold. It was all red, white, and blue, and green and white. There was no blue and gold in his itinerary. I don't think did he even own a blue shirt or a gold shirt.
It probably had something to do with the fact that Marshall will not play, or West Virginia will not play Marshall. And he probably wanted West Virginia to play him so they could win. Marshall could win.
Hey, Mayor, I tell you what, George Finney has known Harold for a long time. And the preacher up there knows what I did whenever they was trying to get in. I made sure that I had their sign at my fence out front, because when cars comes down through there, they can see me in the sign too. And I'd go over to Harold and talk to him over there, and hey, every time I see him, I couldn't get away from him. And I thought I was a big talker. Now there, I never did talk very much. Hey, Mayor, I tell you what, if people can talk, they better talk. Some people don't know how to talk, but I know how to talk. I love that guy right there. I thought the world all of him, and I know what he thought about me. I know that. I think the preacher up there knows what he thought about me. So I'm going to miss him as much as anybody else. I like him.
Anybody else?
I got laughing anyway.
Well, we'll all rise. We'll have pastor.
Father in heaven, Lord, I thank you for this time that you give us for this share memories of Harold Craig. Thank you, Lord, the lives are enriched by him. Father, I thank you the example that he gave us and his faithfulness to our country, his faithfulness to the city, his community, his faithfulness in marriage, his faithfulness to the church, and most of all, his faithfulness to you. And I thank you, Lord, for that. I thank you, Lord, for allowing him to cross our paths, and Lord, how he touched me. I thank you. But Father, I pray right now, for your hand upon this council meeting tonight. Lord, I pray that your hand would be upon everything that takes place. Father, we look to you for wisdom, for guidance. And Lord, you provide exactly what's needful. And we give you all the praise, the honor, and the glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Betty, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk Faulkner will have the roll call, please.
Steve Arnold,
Here.
Mike Scipio,
Here.
Greg Hudson,
Here.
Greg Wolf, Bonnie Thompson,
Present.
Jim Hughes,
Here.
Linda Bogus.
I'm here.
Their quorum being present, I declare the January 7th, 2019 meeting of the City of Dunbar Council in order. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the December 17, 2018 council meeting.
Second.
There's been a motion by Councilman Scipio to approve the minutes of the December 17, 2018 council meeting, seconded by Councilman Hudson. Any comments, revisions, questions? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is a presentation by Joel Weiss from Dunbar Kroger Company. If you'll step forward. And I guess, Dawn, I guess you're the selected gifted person here.
Wanted to make a presentation today. Kroger wants to be a valuable partner with Dunbar. And I brought Shane Lester with me today. He's the head of our Promise team, which is a team of associates within the store. And we look at helping not only within the store, helping our associates within the store, but also helping our associates or our friends outside of the store. And when we won a contest this summer, it was a contest that was held division-wide, and the top stores received $1,000 to use for a community outreach program. And I got with Lieutenant Lester, and we came up with Dunbar Safe Community. We understand that they do things with the children, and we felt that was very important to do for the community. And so we wanted to present a check for $1,000 to Dunbar Safe Community on behalf of not only the Kroger Company, but more importantly, your local Dunbar Kroger, because we won that contest. So I wanted to present that to Lieutenant Lester and Dunbar Safe Community. Thank you. That's the one.
Okay, wait just a second. Catherine's going to get a picture for us.
We want her to get a picture of us as well too. So.
It's fine.
It's $1,000.
you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll put you on the agenda for the next council.
I will, that's right.
So we'll put you on the agenda for the next council meeting.
Good job, buddy.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is invoices submitted for payment.
Mr. Chairman, this is, again, just a reminder of the citizens, this has been a 3-week period, so our invoice is a little higher. They total, the ones we're recommending for payment, $232,987.51. So we will pay those.
Second.
There's been a motion by Councilman Hudson to approve invoices in the amount of $232,987.51. Was seconded by Councilman Scipio. Any questions, comments? Being none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is a budget amendment, number 2 for the year.
This budget adjustment is, our police department had applied for a grant of $18,550, and we had to add it to our budget as receiving it and paying it out to give us to get a reader, license plate reader, right?
Yes,
So that's what this budget adjustment is, to add this to it so we can send it to the state audit department. Let even know that we are adding this $18,550 to our budget.
Mr. Chairman, I so move that we make this second budget adjustment, second budget amendment.
Awesome.
We need to do a roll call, sir. Steve Barnett,
Yes.
Mike Scipio,
Yes.
Greg Hudson,
Yes.
Bonnie Thompson,
Yes.
Linda Bogus,
Yes.
and Jim Hughes.
Yes.
Let me read it. You want to read it? Based upon the vote, it is declared that said resolution be duly adopted. Is therefore adjudged and ordered that this resolution be and same as hereby adopted, so as stated above, and the city clerk is authorized to fix their signature to the attached requisite for the revision to the approved budget to be sent to the state auditor for approval. Okay. Moving forward. Next item on the agenda is approval to repair air brake system on a garbage truck.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion and then council to approve the air brake expenditure of $2,068.66.
I'll second.
There's been a motion by Councilman Hughes for approval to repair the air brake system on the garbage truck. Was seconded by Councilwoman Bogus. Any questions or comments? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is approval to purchase 5 10-foot water-filled plastic barriers to block the slip area on Garden Drive.
Make a motion that we approve that from discount connection directories in the amount of $2,934.
I think that's Tam's.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, making correction, it's 10 for 24/7.
Very good.
Second.
Second.
Thank you.
Yes.
There's been a proper motion to approve the purchase of the 5 10-foot water-filled barriers to block the slip area on Garnet Drive. Councilman Scipio, seconded by Councilman Hughes in the amount of $2,470. Any questions or comments?
Just gonna ask you a question. How do you fill them with the water?
We put the
Fire department.
Good answer.
We put 2 gallon rain freeze in them and fill them. They hold about 8 gallons, which is about 480 pounds. So they, 640 pounds. So they weigh 100 pounds apiece and they lock together. So they're surrounding the slip. The slip is basically in front of Councilman Arnett's mother's house. And we've also posted signs on the approach. And I'm in the process of getting some safety tape to do their safety orange, but they're not reflective. So we're going to put a tape on, make it a little more visible in the
Can I ask you another question?
Sure.
When you're done, how do you just let the water out?
It's got a little drain plug at the bottom.
And it won't mess up what you already worked on?
We haven't worked on anything yet.
Okay. That's good. I don't understand where, I just wonder where the water goes.
It will just drain out over the hill.
Okay.
That's going to be a pretty involved project.
Okay.
So it will.
The water will be in there for a while.
It'll be there for a while.
Okay, thank you.
But the beauty of it, when the slip is resolved, we'll be able to use those barricades elsewhere in the city for other events or something.
Yeah, they'll be great. 2 of them will block a complete road. They'll be wonderful to have around.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions, comments? There's been all those in favor indicate by saying aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is repair to the new backhoe.
Mayor, I move we approve $1,601.75 to repair our backhoe.
Second.
There's been a motion by Councilman Arnett to approve the repairs to the new backhoe in the amount of $1,601.75, seconded by Councilman Scipio. Any questions, comments? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda will be the department head reports. We'll start with the sanitary department assistant director, Mr. Dawson.
Mayor, council, citizens, right now we are gearing up to start on the Garnet Drive repair. Anticipate starting tomorrow morning. So as soon as we're done with that, we'll move over to the Dunbar Avenue and replace a drain that is a sore spot to many drivers, the communities.
You're talking about the storm drains,
Yes.
not the slip.
No. Not of ours. Questions, comments?
Okay. Next, Chief Moss.
Evening, Mayor, Council, guests, Happy New Year's to everyone. In our last council, I said we had about 12,100 calls. We finished the year out with about 12,500 calls for service for the year. That is a lot of calls for a small city. Our 3 new hires start the academy next Monday. They have everything they need. It's all been purchased, and I appreciate everyone that's helped on that. The fingerprint scanner that you all purchased for us, and we received it in. We put it to use on December 26th for a shoplifting incident over at Dunbar Village. This guy lied about his name, date of birth. Lieutenant Schaefer was able to use that, identify him properly. He was wanted out of Dunbar County for malicious wounding and malicious assault. So instead of just writing a ticket, he remained in our community. He's down back in Greenbrier County where Again, I was used on December 31st with a deceased male was laying beside the road on Interstate on Valley Drive. He was able to use fingerprint scanner again, identify him, do the next of kin notification within a half hour. Instead of him going to the morgue, he wasn't a Dunbar resident. Could have been there for a month or two before the two agencies crossed it. That item, that piece of equipment's been used twice, and we appreciate the support and letting us. Anyone has any questions?
Next, Fire Chief Thornhill.
Call volume end of the year, nowhere near the police department, thank you. 1,117 emergency calls in your city. And we also completed a year with 2,167 man hours of training that was done as well. A lot of that's, some of that's recertification, but some of that is certification in new areas. Robert Burnside, one of our firemen, we have a 3-year apprenticeship program when we hire a firefighter. Mr. Burnside is taking his test, hopefully this coming week. He has to take a test at the end of that to complete his apprenticeship. We're pretty excited about that. And the garage door that, I wasn't here last meeting, and my apologies. The garage door that council approved has been replaced. However, within 10 minutes of them installing it and the very first use of it, the springs exploded and tore up the door. It was on them, and they came back and repaired that, and they are eating the cost of that repair, plus they're replacing 2 of the brand new sections. So I have not turned the bill in. I'm holding that bill until they complete everything. But it is installed and working well now, just didn't get it up. So I can't win, and that's okay. But I'll take anyone's questions if anybody has any. That's all I have.
Building Inspector, Mr. Leishman.
Mayor, council citizens, I issued 378 permits this year for a total value of work of $3,124,616. And of that, we received $27,420 in revenue for the sale of the permits. Kind of a slow year for demolition for us. We only demoed 6 houses this year. I have several, 5 on the county list, and I'm working on 3 of them right now. So hopefully here in the next couple of months, we'll knock down 4 or 5 of those. I've just been working with the mayor on the park projects and things like that, and with Scott and stuff. We're going to do hopefully some drainage work up at the new park where the swing set is, and get the curb, get it cut in and poured this week, and get the drainage issues settled around that pad we just poured. There's a lot of water in the ground right now that is making things difficult to use backhoe with. I had his guys pick up the pipe we need today. And Ed's from Ed's Home Commercial Improvement is got us slated to start the scupper work on the top of the building next Monday, weather permitting, obviously. And I've got a text out to G-Block Masonry about the bathroom, and I have not heard back from them on the schedule date for the white cell bathroom. So as soon as I know something, I'll pass that on to Mayor or the Randy Rose, I'll let you know. Other than that, I don't have anything right now.
Questions last year, we tore the old house down.
Excuse me?
The lots that we have.
Connie had assigned that to a realtor, and with little to no result, so we were discussing it the other day. We're gonna take a different approach on it and see if we can come up with something that will get the stuff moving. Because we do need to get back in circulation for tax dollars, and hopefully some new houses.
Do you know the appraisal? Have you got the appraisal done?
I do. We've, yeah, I had those done before we ever listed it with the realtor. So I have to do that by state law, since it's real property.
Anything new to update on 19th Street, Myers Avenue?
They're, well, when I sent him his letter, he had until the 21st of this month to get it back. But by state law, I have to give him a reasonable amount of time. I gave him 45 days, which in my opinion, after dragging on for how many years, was way more than enough time. I have absolutely heard nothing from him. They did let the property go for taxes this fall. It got sold, which still has 18 months under his name. So I was discussing it with the mayor, and what we would probably end up doing is on the 21st, if I haven't heard anything by him, then on the 22nd, I will ask you all to vote to go ahead with demolition, and we will take him through whatever legal action we need to recoup our money and get it done and get that eyesore out of this.
Yep, Steve Swisher's been working on it, and we are following all the legal procedures set out by the state code and our ordinance relative to notifying any lien holders on the property. And so that's all been done. And if they choose not to protect their asset, then under the new state code that was passed last year, they just lose their asset. So we are, it's time consuming, but we are trying to do it where we limit our liability.
By Steve, when I do it, if I let Steve double check it, that just ensures that we're not gonna have a hang up that's recorded when it goes there, if it goes there. Hopefully it won't, but I'm assuming it will, just by the cooperation I've got from him in the past. So he'll have no defense basically when it gets to that point.
Huge. On 8th Street, that duplex, is that one of those, is that one of those that are gonna come?
I'm working on getting that donated to us. He keeps saying, oh, I'm gonna fix it up. I'm telling him, it's $50,000 for a $10 house. Not gonna happen. So hopefully, in the neighborhood already expressed interest in buying the lot. So I'm trying to get that. He did deed me something the other day, but unfortunately, he's so slow that it got sold for taxes.
Oh.
So now we've got to go back through that again, and I just haven't had, I'm gonna try and get hold of him this week, but, yeah.
Because that neighbor's highly interested.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
I want to get that place out of there. And,
Before spring when the cats start again. Maybe.
I'll do my best.
Okay.
I won't guarantee.
That would help the cat situation on 8th Street.
Well, we'll plant grass there.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have anything?
Okay, next is Public Works, Mr. Elliott.
Mayor, council, citizens, just a few things. We've been having a lot of problems with recycle. Everybody just thinks they can bring it down to the garage and throw it in a pile. There's 4 containers down there. We do not take tin cans, aluminum cans. We only take cardboard, paper, and plastic. That's it. So if you have anything else, there's gonna be a garbage truck hopefully parked in that area to put it in. Just spending a lot of time cleaning up the lot where it's all getting blown all over the place and sorting through it and putting it in the right places. The leaves, we're getting ready to shut the leaves down. I've got the guys driving around cleaning out all the storm grates, all the edges of the road with the leaf sucker, trying to get all that done. If anybody's watching people throwing trash out of their cars, try to get a license plate number, pass it on to the chief of police or to the police department itself. We're having a lot of trouble out on Westmoreland Road and Valley Drive area with the trash. And then I'm working on alleys, trying to get gravel into the potholes as fast as I can go. Between using the backhoe at the city park and different places, it's been getting used a lot, and I haven't been able to get to the alleys, but hopefully we'll get this starting Friday. If anybody has any questions, I'll take them.
Yeah, I do.
Yes, sir.
How about them, I thought paint cans, if they're empty, you'll take them. I'm gonna tell you this right now, I put 3 in the garbage, but there's no paint in them.
As long as they're empty paint cans, they can be thrown away. If there's wet paint in them, they gotta be dried out
That's
first.
right. That's the way I look at it.
Yep, the trash dump will take them as long as they're not wet paint.
Okay.
Don't you need to take the lids off?
I'm safe again.
Yes, put sand or kitty litter in them and get them dried out, leave the lids off, and we'll take them.
Hey, Scott,
Yes, ma'am.
up on the top of 26, or 20, And where I live, 22nd Street Hill, in the middle of the hill, going toward the railroad tracks. That's rental property right there. You go up through there and look, there is all kinds of leaves and dirt and everything coming out.
Where exactly? I'm not understanding, because I
you
know
know
most of your people
You
live.
know where Beaver used to live?
Yes,
Right across the street, there's rental property.
yeah, where the
Yes. Yes,
guy had all the limbs piled out in his front yard.
yes. Now there's all of these leaves and everything that are all there. They're all out in the street. Mud is all out in the street. I come by there today, and it doesn't matter whether it's dry or wet. Nobody has cleaned that up. It's looking kind of bad.
See what we can do.
Scott, I want to thank you for the pickup of the limbs that my neighbor cut an old tree down, and y'all picked it up this morning, and I appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
I really do.
Appreciate it.
Take a minute to thank you guys, if you would pass it on. Some of you know, try to keep track of what all of our employees in the city do. We have wonderful firemen, wonderful policemen, and they've been very cooperative with us council, so we know what they do. Public works guys, sometimes it's a little harder to know what they do. And a couple weeks ago, heard a lot of belly aching and people and saying they're not doing their job. So I just went down one morning and said, I'm gonna ride with you, big trash. And, so thank them for letting me do it. And those guys, they worked their tail off. They about worked me to death. And it was freezing cold. And I learned one thing really fast: don't stand behind the truck when it's crushing, because stuff comes flying out of there that's liquid. But you as citizens need to know we've got a good group of guys, whether I say guys generically, because we have employees of both gender in the city, but at that department, they're all guys, and they work hard and do work that sadly many times is looked down upon in our society, but it's a necessary part, and we need to be thankful for it. People just saw me on the truck, thought I was one of the employees. It was interesting, the responses you got. Some people just view you as less than them because you're on the back of a garbage truck, but these guys work hard, and just tell them thanks for not killing me that day.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can always come to the department.
Recreation. Buck Jones.
Coming up on critter dinner time of the year, when the good food be flowing through. Just remember, on Saturday, February 16th, at the rec center, starting at noon. All parking will be down at Shawnee Park. You will be bused to the front. It's 5 non-perishable food items or a cash donation that the Boy Scouts will be doing again this year. Am I correct, Matt?
Yes, sir.
So I'm getting with, I was gonna text out to my main cooks, trying to get with them this week, go over the menu so we can have it set, see what we're having. We know we always take volunteers to help set up, clean up. My favorite volunteer. Then also after that, we're gonna have a flea market at the rec center on March 3rd. We're still working on a little bit more details, but we'll be getting that out on social media and passing it around the schools and around the area. That will be March.
Second, what you said.
Second Saturday.
I meant second. March 2nd, the first Saturday in March. That time will start at 9 a.m. So if anybody wants to, set up a spot or whatever, please contact us at the rec center. Me, Joanne, or Jerry works in the offices. We can give you all the details of how we're doing, how we're setting it up, and using Connie's old format we had from years ago. Other than that, Mayor, I have nothing else. Got any questions?
When you said critter dinner was in 19?
16.
Okay, floor is open for public comment.
Yeah. I'm glad we got the policeman in here tonight. I know that the policeman's had on 24th Street more than one time, the policeman's to slow them people down. Now listen, don't nobody tell me nothing. they're flying up and down that street. And we got kids on that street now that we didn't have. At the top of the hill as you come up is where the kids are. And I mean to tell you what, Christian, all you gotta do is come down there and watch. And Mayor, I'm gonna tell you something else too that I like. I like them lights they put up here on the main road going up. I feel like I'm in New York now.
All right, thank you, George. Anybody else? Okay. Council, Linda.
Don't have anything, just wish everybody a happy new year. Good to see you out tonight. Thank you very much for being concerned about your community.
I'd like to remind everybody that this Thursday at 6 o'clock, downstairs will be our neighborhood watch meeting, Safe Community. Starts at 6 o'clock. We'll come out and hear things going on and tell anything's going on in your neighborhood. Secondly, I want to commend again, and I said this before, as the year came to a close, is all our department heads about working together. You guys this past year just blown everything away, and the city looks great. Chief Moss just reported that we had 12,000 calls in 1 year with 10 police officers. That's over, 1,200, almost 1,200 stops for 10 guys. That's astronomical to me. I mean, I don't know how many were arrested in that, Chief. I know you do, but that's 12,000 calls, a lot of calls. Did you answer?
595 arrests, that was in December 17th. So we had a few more in the last couple of weeks.
It's almost 600 arrests. Needs to be commended. Thank y'all, all y'all. Y'all do a great job. We really appreciate it.
Jim, could I say something? The job you're doing is fantastic. You get these reserves ready. Hopefully they'll be policemen someday, not too distant future.
I'm too old.
Huh?
You are talking to me, right?
I'm talking about the young people that you're working with. You've done a great job on that.
They're doing a great job. We appreciate police workers and helping us, that's for sure. And everybody else.
I'm just excited to know that the 3 officers will be going to the academy. I'm not sure they're that excited about the academy, but I think that it's an experience for them, and I wish them the best.
Have nothing, City Mayor.
Just, I think it'll be in the paper tomorrow with the, just for your information, the viewing for Harold will be Friday evening, 6 to 9, and the funeral will be 10 to 11 viewing the next day, and funeral 11, and that'll all be at Keller Funeral Home. But it should be in the paper tomorrow.
Mr. Mayor, for the good of the order, if there's no other city business, I move we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All right. I think that's what I'm.